What's good, Hoopers? This is part 3 of our shoulder stability video series. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts, please go check those out first, because you need to be able to master those exercises before progressing into this part 3 of exercises. This part 3 is more focused on a progression from part 1, which was more of our close shin exercises. If you want to learn more about why you should be doing close shin exercise, go check out part 1. In this part 3, this specific video, we're going to go over more progressive close shin exercises, and we're going to be doing that by working into higher ranges of shoulder flexion. So flexion is this way, extension's back the other way, and then working on more dynamic stability. So we're trying to incorporate more body movement, shoulder movement under closed chain conditions, so that you can increase that proprioception, shoulder stability, shoulder girdle working, really trying to make sure those muscles are firing in the right sequence, and then using the proprioception feedback from the ground or the wall to allow you to progress better, so that you can feel the muscles the proper way. So like I said, check out part 1 and make sure you've done those exercises properly and feel them correctly, because we need to essentially use what we did in part 1 to be able to do this part 3. For those that I don't know, my name is Gabe Ignacio, Doctor of Physical Therapy, board certified orthopedic clinical specialist, and co-founder of Basketball Doctors, here trying to help hoopers play basketball and live their life pain-free and try and create better performance. So let's get into the exercise now of more dynamic close shin exercises. Okay guys, so the first exercise that we're going to go over in this open chain series is a sidelining external rotation. I'm going to be facing away from you. My right side is going to be my reference side, and we're going to bias kind of the shoulder external rotation, external rotators, and those are like the posterior rotator cuff muscles, like the infraspinatus and teres minor. So you're gonna lay on your side. I'm gonna roll up a towel just to put your shoulder girdle and your humerus in more of an optimal position to bias the external rotators, so you can get stacked up right underneath the elbow. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blade down and back, like you're tucking into your back pocket. From there, your working hand, my right arm, I'll face you guys and show you that way as well. As you're gonna rotate, squeezing back as high as you can go without cheating. So you wanna be relaxing your upper trap, and you wanna feel like your muscles back here are working. So you should feel a little bit of a work through here. Hold it there for a couple seconds, control it back down, relax, reset, work your way all the way back up. So what you don't wanna do when you do this is feel like you're shrugging to bring up your shoulder. That's going to be way too much upper trap. You don't want to feel like you're picking up and losing that contact, because you're going to start using your rear delt and other things more. So you want to feel like you're down and back engaged, rotate, feel like you're rotating from here and not picking up. You want to feel like you're using your shoulder blade to rotate up. Okay, so I'll face you and do the same thing. So laying on your side, tucking in here, elbow rested there, all the way down, engage, squeeze, rotate and pull as high as you can, hold it there, try and feel those muscles engaged in the right area, control it back down. If you want to make it a little bit tougher, you can just hold it for longer periods of time, do more reps. This is more muscle-mind connection, not trying to get a huge massive pump or anything like that. If you want to, you could grab a dumbbell. I would say for sure less than 5 pounds until you get really good with it, but usually 5 pounds is more than enough, as well as just doing more reps. But from there, squeeze engaged, turn and rotate up as far as you can, doing that controlled movement. Okay, so that's the first exercise. The next 2 exercises are going to be on your stomach. If you can get like a treatment table or a bench or something where your arm's hanging down straight so you go through a range of motion, is great. But I know a lot of people don't have that, so we're going to show it just laying on the ground here. So first thing is working on the proper scat position. So as you're laying down, you want to feel like you're squeezing your shoulder blades down and tucking them into your back pocket. Okay, so when you do this, you want to squeeze down and back. Not when you squeeze, you're shrugging up into your shoulder blades. That's going to be too much upper trap, not going to put your shoulder blade in a good position and cause compensation into the wrong muscles. So with these exercises, we're going to focus a little bit more on kind of like the lat and rhomboid a little bit with these 2 ones. So you're gonna squeeze down and back, tuck into your back pocket, and lift straight up, kind of about butt height. You don't need to necessarily go high, because as you can see, my shoulder starts to dip forward, and I'm just cheating at that point, okay? If you're trying to squeeze back, raise up to a nice level. You should feel this kind of in your lat and kind of in the mid, in your rhomboids and mid trap a little bit, okay? You can do both sides at the same time, so squeezing down and back, raising up, coming back down, and then relax completely. Tuck into your back pocket, lift up and squeeze, and back down, okay? Kind of what we mentioned before. Don't want to see any of this, where you're just using a bunch of your upper traps and just compensating up and down. You want to squeeze down and back, control the movement up. Good squeeze, good tight squeeze, control it back down, okay? So that's the prone extension. If you can do a row, that'd be great, but if you have limited range of motion, you won't be able to do it. So if your arm is able to hang down on like an open surface, then you do the same concept. You'd squeeze down and back, row straight back, and that'll be a little bit more of the same thing, the lat, rhomboid, and mid trap. But if you don't have anything where your arm can dangle straight down, laying flat on your stomach works just as great. Okay, so really working and feeling those muscles correctly. Work your reps up to 12 to 15 reps, 3 sets. If you want, grab less than 5 pounds, would start like 1 or 2 pounds. You don't need much more than 5 pounds, you're just working on activation, okay? And then the last one that I'm gonna show you is more biased towards the mid and low trap, but trying to get your shoulder in a little bit of different position. I'll show you on one arm first, so same concepts applied. We're gonna go arm rested over our head. Same thing, you're gonna engage your shoulder blades down and back, and you're gonna lift your elbow off the ground, control it back down. Same thing, this is gonna bias a little bit more of that mid trap, low trap, and your external rotators of the shoulder. Same thing, squeezing down and back, raising straight up. You can do both arms at the same time, resting completely down. Engage, squeeze your shoulder blade down to your back pocket. Lift straight up, squeeze and hold. Control it back down, and then relax the shoulder blade. What you don't want when you do this is shrugging up into your upper traps or not engaging and just raising up and down like that. You really want to engage those back muscles. Squeeze up and really squeeze, tuck those into your back pocket, and then control it back down. Okay. All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those more dynamic close chain exercises. Like I mentioned before, really make sure you're feeling the right muscles and doing the form correctly, because as we progress further and further, you really need to make sure you're feeling the right muscles. And for this exercise, and compared to part 1 of our video series, this should feel more of a shoulder burn. You should feel like your shoulders are working a lot harder. And it's gonna be easier to compensate if you didn't master part 1. And as these exercises are pretty new to some of you, it might take some time for you to feel inherently more stable. So just practice it, do more reps, do more sets, really master these movements, get really strong with these ones. Like we mentioned in other videos, there's so many exercises you can be doing, and these are only just a few of them that we chose. But we feel like with these ones, you get all the different concepts of shoulder stability that you need to be able to do to inherently feel stronger and more stable in your joints. So hope you enjoyed that. If you learned something new, please like, subscribe, share with your family and friends. We're trying to reach more hoopers and make a difference on this platform. We are the Basketball Doctors. Let's ball for life.